Good morning, Mrs. Liz Towns Andrews. Welcome to Barcelona. We're very happy to have you here. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for your speech. It was very inspiring. And now I'd like to ask you a few questions. Considering your experience also in other governmental national organizations, we would like to know, what do you think the UK is doing in terms of university-industry relationship and innovation? That it seems that for already a long time it's always in the spotlight and always had lots of good practice case studies, like universities that are doing especially well in this area. What do you think it's done in the UK that is different to what is done in other European countries, for example?
Well, I can sort of speak for the UK, but I'm not entirely familiar with all of the different initiatives in different countries in Europe. But in the UK, I think one of the biggest things that transformed is transforming the relationship between universities and industries is the establishment of the Technology Strategy Board, which in a way is like the Research Council for industry. So industry can do inspirational research and development work in a business-to-business relationship or in a business-to-university relationship, but it's always led by business. But the academic side of it is peer-reviewed. It satisfies all of the drivers for academia. So I think the Technology Strategy Board was quite an inspirational move on behalf of the UK government. It's becoming well embedded now. New initiatives starting to come through, particularly trying to get universities engaged with small and medium-sized enterprises. Traditionally, it's been very good at large corporate engagement, but the government started to put additional weighting onto relationships with SMEs because they see them as the engine for driving the economy. So there are lots and lots of different initiatives now to facilitate university SME interaction, and that's one of the things we're trying to exploit at Huddersfield.
Yeah, well, I think that's essential. I mean, we're talking about 90-something% of the industry in all European countries. So collaboration with SMEs is still a pending issue in many countries. So, and a strategy for that, I can imagine, could be key to improve it.
Yeah, I mean, one of there is a tranche of individuals who would say, well, actually, we should just concentrate on the university large corporate relationship, because the large corporates and the OEMs drive the supply chain. So the SMEs who feed into the large corporates through the supply chain, it'll look after itself, but actually it doesn't. It needs to be proactively managed. And upskilling the quality of the supply chain is really important, and universities have a key role to play in that.
And now talking about Huddersfield, who has been chosen as an entrepreneurial university of the year already for several years, and that really have very interesting initiatives. But what do you think makes Huddersfield an interesting partner for industry over other universities in the UK? What do you think are the keys that makes Huddersfield to be much more attractive to partner with industry than other universities?
I think actually it's a combination of things. We have excellent leadership from our Vice-Chancellor, and our Vice-Chancellor was nominated as one of the local businessmen of the year. He runs the university like a business in a very entrepreneurial way, so that cascades through the whole of the university. So the culture is very entrepreneurial in how the university itself is run. But equally, you need to look at the heritage and where the university's come from. It's founded on industrial manufacturing. So a lot of the research strengths we have are applied in nature because it's coming from the heritage of where it's grown up from. So I think the fact that we have a strategy that is around applied research with impact, and that the leadership and the whole ethos of the institution recognises the importance of the institution as an economic driver. Very much so. The Vice Chancellor sits on the regional local economic enterprise partnership. He also chairs the Business Innovation and Growth Panel. So we're so it's just part of it. It's integrated. It's not an add-on. We're not paying lip service to it. It really is integrated within the whole portfolio of what we do.
Yeah, that's probably key. Because would you say that those universities in with that leadership pushing this cooperation with industry is not there? Because in some universities still is not quite there, and the research that is being carried out is not that applied, so it's more what we call basic research. Do you think it's still possible to transform that without the leadership but without the research? Or do you think that that leadership is really key to push this topic forward in the institution?
Leadership's absolutely key. Absolutely. And not it needs to be inspirational leadership as well, visionary leadership, that you can communicate the benefits of doing it and how it's going to transform the institution. And I think our Vice Chancellor has been able to do that. And there are challenges in the whole university community. So some will have an emphasis on teaching, some will be research intensive. It's very heterogeneous. But equally, if you've got the right leadership and the right networks and connections and ability to make it happen, you can transform either end of the spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. You were also mentioning about the importance and the need of having people that are actually in the interface between researchers and industry. What would you say, or which ones would you say that are the key skills that that person that is in the interface should have?
It's almost like being able to, like yourself, you're sat here speaking beautiful English. It's just like speaking a different language. So one of the key skills is to be able, on the one hand, to turn around and have a conversation with an industrial partner about their business drivers, the problems they have, the benefits that we could bring to them, how we can solve the problems in terms of business criteria in a credible way. So being able to demonstrate that you understand their business and you have a track record of having done it for others. Track record's key because it gives you credibility, and then being able to turn around. So it's almost like you're a bit schizophrenic, and then go to the academic and say, look, this business has a particular problem. I think if you applied, so it's being able to switch hats very interchangeably, and you have absolute credibility with both communities. I've witnessed examples where, and we did it in the Research Council, where in the government organisation, where we brought in somebody from industry to work as our business development manager in the commercial office to try and bring industry in. He was rejected almost as if he was a foreign body by the staff and the academics because he doesn't understand what we're about. So it's hard, but you need to have credibility with both communities.
Interesting. The last question that I asked to all our keynote speakers, it's a bit of forecasting. So how do you see this area, university, industry, interaction, relationship, cooperation, in, let's say, 10 years?
It's a good question. Oh. How do I see it in 10 years? I can say how I could see it from Huddersfield in 10 years' time. Okay. We will be at the heart of a big advanced manufacturing community, which is an integrated mix of businesses co-located with the university. we're going to set up a big proving factory, a university enterprise zone. That's something that the UK government are piloting at the moment, the idea of universities becoming enterprise zones to actually, as part of this 21st century concept. I definitely see Huddersfield being one of those. And and we need to draw on what other people are doing elsewhere, so not become complacent. So one of the things I want to look at are things like Fraunhofer institutes in the UK. How do they work? What, different models, different approaches. So I see universities taking if we can get it right, they need to take centre stage in economic regeneration. I think it's really important, but we need to up the game with the small and medium-sized enterprises.
Okay, that sounds excellent, and I wish that actually is a reality in a few years. So thanks a lot for your participation in our conference, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the University Industry Innovation Conference and you enjoy sunny Barcelona.
I will. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. I hadn't planned it this way. I can think it's been wonderful. I think, although I have